Hey guys, welcome back. So in the last video, we saw how the system manages recursive method using stack memory. Hope the concept was clear. Now in this video, let's see how we can solve some mathematical problems using recursive methods. So the first problem that we will see is a factorial. Now in case if you don't know what exactly is a factorial, factorial is basically a product of all positive integers starting from 1 to n. It is denoted by n and a exclamation mark. And one important thing to note is it can only be found for a non-negative integer. So if we say find out a factorial of minus 10, then it is not possible because it can only be done for a positive integer. Now let's see some examples of factorial. So let's say if you want to find factorial of 5. So the answer is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. That is 120. How did we get this 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1? It is coming from here. That is, counting starts from 1, goes on till n, and n is provided by user, which is 5 in this case. So we start with 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We multiply all these numbers and we get 120. Fine. Now let's see one more example. So let's say if we want to find factorial of 10. So how do we do that? Again, we start from 1 multiplied by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So the value comes to 36,28,800. Okay. Now let's see how we can find out this factorial value of any given value n using recursive method. So we have a recursive method over here called as factorial. It takes an argument n, which can be any non-negative integer number. Then we say if n is equal to 0, then simply return 1. Else we return n into factorial n minus 1. So we observe here we are doing a recursive call of factorial method with a different argument, and the modified argument is n minus 1. So let's say if we want to call this method factorial n with value 5, so what happens? So if this value over here is 5, in that case the control comes here. It says if n equals to 0, no, it is not, it is 5. So it will not come to this return statement, it will come to this return statement. Now what is this return statement? It says n into factorial n minus 1. So what is n right now? It is number 5 into what is factorial n minus 1. Now we don't know what is the value of factorial n minus 1 right now. So we have to do a recursive call. Recursive call will be factorial of 4. So system will say, okay, I will return a value 5 into something which I don't know. And what is not known? That is factorial 4. So it will recursively call factorial with value 4. So again, when it is 4, the control comes here. If n equals to 0, no. So again the control goes here. Return n into factorial n minus 1. So now the value of n is 4 multiplied by factorial of n minus 1, that is 3. So again it says I cannot return this value, but I can call factorial method with argument as 3. So again this factorial method is called with value 3. If n equals to 0, no, it is not. So it return n into factorial n minus 1. So this will now return 3 into factorial of 2. So system once again says, I don't know what is the value of factorial 2. So it calls factorial 2 method. So once again this factorial method is called with value 2. If n equals to 0, no. Return n into factorial n minus 1. So it says this time it returns 2 into factorial 2 minus 1, that is factorial 1. So again it does not knows the value of factorial 1. So it says, okay, no problem, I can call factorial 1. So again factorial n over here gets called with value 1. If n equals to 0, no. Return n into factorial n minus 1. So again the system comes here and calls n, which is 1 right now, into factorial n minus 1, which is factorial 0. So it says, I don't know factorial 0, but I can call factorial 0 for you. So now the thing gets interesting. So this factorial method is now called with value 0. If n equals to 0, yes, it is equals to 0. So it says return 1. And the control never comes to this return statement. So this is our base condition. So once it returns 1, system over here places the value 1 instead of question mark. So this becomes 1 into 1. Now 1 into 1 is equal to 1. So this value gets returned and it comes over here instead of this question mark. So instead of question mark, now it returns a value 1. So 2 into 1 is 2. So now this value 2 gets come over here, replaces this question mark. So we put 2 over here. So this becomes 3 into 2 is equal to 6. Now this 6 over here gets replaced and put over here instead of question mark. 6 into 4 we put 24. Now this 24 comes here instead of the question mark and we put 24. So 24 into 5 is equal to 120. So at the end of this entire recursive call, system returns 120 as factorial of 5. So this is how we can recursively find the factorial value of any number. Fine. So I hope you have understood how to use a recursive method to find factorial value of any number. So with this we end this video. In the next video, we'll pick up one more mathematical problem and try to solve it using recursive method. Thanks for your time. See you in the next video.